In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make beginner coasters and intermediate coasters and a coaster holder. I'm going to walk you through my entire process. We're going to talk about how we finish them, and if you stick around to the very end, I'll give you a bonus tip on how to sell coasters like crazy. Let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to start with the easiest coasters to make. So if you're a beginner just getting started, maybe start with these, and then we'll get more and more complicated. First up, what we're going to do is just make scrap wood coasters. We're not going to do any kind of glue up. Basically what we're doing is cutting squares and finishing them. I've got some awesome hickory pieces of scrap wood here, and so first thing we're going to do is take these over to the table saw and trim them up into 4-inch squares. So for this batch of coasters, we're gonna make 2 sets of 4 coasters, but we're also going to create a coaster holder. So that's why we have 10 of these blocks. Now, I love the grain interest that this hickory has, like here, the contrast, right here. That's gonna make these really interesting. So what I'm gonna do is take the 2 that have the least amount of that grain and use these as the base. So I think this one here, I'm just gonna go ahead and write base, base. If you ever come into a situation where you need to plane a piece of wood that's pretty small, maybe it's a small square, here is how you can do it safely. First, get a perfectly flat board. In fact, in this instance, I'm using a particle board, and stick the blocks down with double-sided tape. Now make sure you're using quality tape. This tape that I'm using here is almost impossible to get the board back off, so you don't want these blocks shooting out of your planer. Once you've had these secured, run very carefully your blocks through the planer. 2 quick tips: make sure that you don't have a gap in between the blocks of wood. Also make sure your grain is running this direction. Now, just to be extra safe, I make sure I'm not standing behind the planer, behind the infeed table, because in case that tape happens to get dislodged, you don't want a coaster shooting out the other end. But every time I've used double-sided tape, it has never had any issues for me. So this is a great way to plane smaller pieces of wood. Quick tip for if you're cutting super small pieces on the miter saw, it's really dangerous to hold your hand, in my opinion, anywhere close to this semicircle here. So this right here is a great way to put pressure on a workpiece that's small. Let's say I was cutting this, you can put pressure there and you can have your hand in a safe spot. I'll link this in the description. It's a great buy for shop safety. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue these dowels into place. Everything with coasters, I use Titebond 3, the waterproof glue, wood glue. I just think that's smart because coasters are designed to be around water. And so I think it's just kind of wise to use waterproof glue. Now it's time time to take these coasters to the router. Now I'm gonna do 2 different router bits on each of these sets of coasters so you can see which one you like better. On one, I'm going to do a slight chamfer bit, and on the other set, I'm gonna do a roundover bit. And you'll be able to see what each one looks like so that when you go to make your coasters, you'll know which one you like better. So we finished up everything on these coasters and the coaster stands except for the actual finish that we're going to apply. What I'm going to do is go ahead and show you how to make the intermediate level coasters next, and then at the very end we'll come back and finish them all together because we use the same finishing process. These turned out really, really cool though. I love the chamfer coasters, but I think I personally like the roundover coasters, especially with the Hickory. To me, it just looks a little more rustic, which I think the Hickory is a very kind of rustic type wood. So I think it works really, really well. All right, now it's time to make the intermediate level coasters. So I have everything cut to about the rough thickness that I want. Of course, we're going to clean this up on the planer. As far as stands, you can use these stands for either set of coasters, and these are also 4 inches, so they fit in there nicely as well. And I might actually go back and make some stands that kind of look like, have this laminated look there. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and hop into the finishing process for these coasters. Now, what I like to use is actually my Butcher Block beeswax finish. All this is beeswax and mineral oil combined, and I like this because it's very easy to reapply. And if you sell this cutting board finish, it's very easy to sell, a little can of coaster finish along with a set of coasters. And here is my tip on how you can sell even more coasters. If you're at a craft show and you're planning on selling coasters, maybe some like these, I would recommend taking them unfinished. I would take them just like this. So that way the customer can see, oh, this looks cool. But then when you wipe on the cutting board finish, or in this case, coaster finish, it's gonna really pop, and it's gonna kind of add to the experience of them picking out a set of coasters. Also, it will show them how awesome that coaster finish is, and they're gonna be more likely to buy a can of that as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you hit the like button. It's totally free for you. It just helps me out. And also subscribe, because very soon we're gonna be doing not only beginner and intermediate coasters, but we're gonna be moving on to the advanced coasters, which may or may not have something to do with epoxy. So super excited about that. Subscribe so you won't miss that video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.